Disturbed. They started out really bad, but they got better, so now I'm into them. Dokken, classic. Domain. There's the rest of the Dominici stuff. Doom's World, Down. They're a spin-off of Pantera, I would say. Dragon Force. Who doesn't like Dragon Force? If you don't like Dragon Force, go fuck a goat. Seriously. Dragonland, Dream Evil. Dream Theater. This is my... Hey, let me actually... This is my biggest folder. It's bigger. See, 44.5 gigs. I have a lot of Dream Theater. Most of it are live recordings. They're my favorite band by far. The Eagles. Not much to say there. Echo of Dalriada. Ed Guy. I like power metal. Elton John. I'm actually a really big Elton John fan. You can see I have a lot of him. Eluveitie. Emperor. Imperium. And Sephirum. Enslaved. Eiffel Duoth, they're an amazing avant-garde metal band. Eric Clapton, can't go wrong there. Evergrey, I'd like to see them live one day. Excises, Exodus, they're a great thrash metal band. Extreme, more metal. Falcom, that's actually the Legacy of Ys soundtrack. I don't know why the artist is listed as Falcom, but okay, I'll have to fix that. Falkenbach, Pharmakon. Fate's Warning, I'm not really into them, but I have a couple of CDs of them live because they were opening for like Dream Theater and Queensryche, so there you have that. Fear Factory, that's another band that I discovered because I saw them live, and they're amazing. They rock my balls off. I had to pick my balls off the ground. Fintroll are an absolutely crazy, nuts band. I don't know where they're from, like Finland, I think, because they're called Fintroll, and it's impossible to describe them. You have to look them up and hear it. Firewind, Fish, not PH, not Fish with a PH, Fish with an F. He was the singer in Marillion. I'm a big fan of him. He was the original Marillion singer. Let's see, Fjordgine. Those of you who remember the video of me beating, I think it was Death Gaze in Final Fantasy 1, Dawn of Souls on the Game Boy Advance with 4 white mages. I played a Fjordgine song. Flesh Crawl, Foreigner, their classic. Frameshift is this crazy thing with James LaBrie from Dream Theater and Henning Pauly singing about evolution. It's absolutely crazy. And then the second album had like Sebastian Bach on it. Frank Zappa, and I also have Frank Zappa and the Mothers. I'm a huge fan of Frank Zappa. I don't have nearly enough by him, but he's a genius. He's done everything. I would categorize him as jazz more than anything, but he was an absolute nut in a good way. I mean, if you're into crazy music, Frank Zappa's the way to go. He was a genius. Game Over is like a metal band that does like video game songs. Geddy Lee, he was the singer in Rush. He has a solo album. Genesis are one of my absolute favorite bands. I have everything by them. And actually they released my favorite album of all time, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. So you can see I'm not just a metalhead. I am into lots of different kinds of music. Gorgoroth, Grand Magus. See, I like Green Day. I'm looking forward to the Green Day rock band. I have all their albums. Guns N' Roses, they're really good. Haggard, Halford. Halford is the band of Rob Halford. He was in Judas Priest, and now he's in Judas Priest again. Hammer of the Gods, they're a Led Zeppelin tribute band. I see Hammerfall. Hank Williams III. See, I like country music as well. I like everything. Heaven and Hell, Hello Madness, Halloween, Henning Pauly, High on Fire, Hypocrisy. Here's a band that's just called I. They're really good, though. Iced Earth. They're really good. Well, they're not anymore, but they used to be. Immortal, great black metal. In Flames, Incantation, Inferis, Inner Sanctum. Inner Sanctum is actually one of the earliest bands that Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater was in. There's Insect Warfare. They're a crazy grindcore band. Insomnium, Into Eternity. Iron Butterfly, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, In the Garden of Eden, by I. Ron Butterfly. Wait a minute, this sounds like rock and or roll. Iron Fire, Iron Maiden, I'm a huge, huge fan of Iron Maiden. I have everything they've ever released. I'll be seeing them at Madison Square Garden this summer. It's going to be fucking awesome. Isis, James LaBrie, he's the singer in Dream Theater. Jeff Loomis, he's the guitarist in Nevermore. The Jerky Boys, I think they're hilarious. I wish they would come back. Jisoo is actually pretty cool. Jimi Hendrix, classic. Jimmy Buffett, yeah, I like Jimmy Buffett too. Who doesn't? Joe Satriani, he's a great guitarist. John Arch, he was the original singer in Fates Warning. I actually like him better than the rest of the band. John Mellencamp, more classic rock stuff. John Petrucci, he's the guitarist in Dream Theater. And there he is with Jordan Rudess, the keyboardist. Johnny Cash, what can I say about Johnny Cash? I mean, he's amazing. John Bon Jovi, that's pretty obvious. John LaJoy is a comedian that I actually found on YouTube, and then I got his CD. Jordan Rudess from Dream Theater. Journey, everybody likes Journey. Judas Priest, they released one of my favorite albums recently, of recent years, was Nostradamus. Kansas, another classic band. Catatonia, they're great. Kevin Moore, I'm not a fan of him, but he was in Dream Theater, so I have all his stuff. Killswitch Engage, they're really good. King Crimson, I actually don't really like King Crimson, but I forgot why I have this CD. King's X, once again, I really don't like King's X. I only like the CD Dogman, and that's one of the two that I have. Kip Winger, from Winger, he's the singer. His solo albums are really amazing. The Winger stuff is amazing. Like, I don't know, people who say that Winger and Kip are wussy, they really need to suck my ass, because Winger fucking rules. Kiss, that's classic. Kicks, more 80s stuff. Konami, that's like Castlevania stuff. Korpiklani, they're crazy. Look up Wooden Pints on YouTube. Crazy video. Kraulice, they're fairly new. Creator, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Lacuna Coil, they're pretty good. I actually got that, one of the CD. Yeah, I only got one CD by them. I got it for Julie. Lamb of God. Led Zeppelin. Can't not have Led Zeppelin. Life Lover. Somebody recommended Life Lover to me. Liquid Tension Experiment and Liquid Trio Experiment are some of the guys from Dream Theater doing like crazy experimental instrumental stuff. Lita Ford, classic. Living Color, they're great. Lord Belial, Mad Season, that was some of the guys from, I think, Alice in Chains. Medina Lake is this hardcore band that I heard them covering Iron Maiden, and I had to check them out. They're actually pretty good. I'm not going to even try. Magrundergrind, I think. Malignancy. Marcos Foley is an Italian guitarist. I met him. He's really cool. His CD is great. You should check it out. Marillion. I'm a huge Marillion fan, although recently they've gotten kind of boring. I still listen to their old stuff a lot. Mastodon. Mattis Yehu. That's he's kind of weird because he does reggae, but he's also like a Hasidic Jew. So he comes on stage like with the whole outfit on. It's pretty funny, but it's not meant to be funny. You feel bad for laughing at it, but he's actually a really good musician. Mayhem. MC Hawking, you got to look that up on YouTube. I can't even describe it. It's like Stephen Hawking as a gangster rapper. Fucking hilarious. Mean Streak, that's a really obscure one. Meatloaf, yeah, Meatloaf is pretty cool. Gotta like Meatloaf. Meat Puppets, I don't think I've ever listened to them, but I have one of their CDs. I think I listened to one of the CDs once and I thought it was good, but I never listened to it again. It's kind of weird. Megadeth, they're amazing. They're absolutely classic. Merciful Fate. Metal Church. Why do so many great metal bands, classic metal bands, start with M? I mean, look at this. Megadeth, Merciful Fate, Metal Church, Metallica. Amazing. There's Michael Armstrong. Yeah, I have a CD by Michael Bolton. Believe it or not, before he became the world's most biggest vagina, he actually had a CD. He had two CDs. I only have one, called Everybody's Crazy, and it was heavy metal. And he was actually pretty good at it. It sounded kind of like Van Halen. So I do have that. Michael Kiske, Mike Portnoy, Miles Davis, one of the greatest jazz musicians of all time. Mitch Hedberg, one of the greatest comedians of all time, unfortunately died. Oh, he only died like 2 weeks after I saw him live. It's pretty fucking weird. Moon Sorrow, Morbid Angel. Morris Portnoy George is like Neil Morris and Mike Portnoy and some other guy doing cover songs. Mortificare, Mother Love Bone. If you were into the grunge scene in the 90s like I was, Mother Love Bone was a really important CD to have. Motley Crue, Motorhead, Mull Muzzler, that's James LaBrie. Muse is one of the best new bands that I've ever heard. And Gates of Slumber, that should be in my other one. Alright, that's weird. I don't know how that got there. Anyway, here's my other music folder. Let's see, I got Knockmistium. I'm not really that into them, but people were like insisting that I get some Knockmistium, so there you have it. Naked City is like if you crossed grindcore and jazz and then peed on it, but it's kind of amazing in its own way. Napalm Death. Neil Morse. Yeah, I got Neil. He's like Christian rock, but he's really good. It's kind of weird.